Are you buying a new construction home? Then there's one appointment that many buyers underestimate, but it can save you a lot of stress, confusion, and even money even after you move in. It's called the builder's orientation. And if you're buying new construction, this is one appointment you do not want to take lightly. Today, I'm going to explain exactly what a builder orientation is, what happens during the appointment, what you should be paying attention to, and why I tell buyers to treat this appointment like they're back in school. Hello, YouTube fam. I'm Natasha Bazile with SoldByNat.com, your favorite relatable Georgia realtor and associate broker. I specialize in new construction, relocation, and dual moves. Over the years, I've attended countless builder orientations with my clients and for my clients who are relocating and could not attend in person. One thing I've learned is that many buyers show up thinking this is just another walkthrough of the home. It's not. This appointment is actually one of the most important parts of the entire new construction process. The builder orientation, which I lovingly refer to as the blue tape meeting, typically takes place shortly before closing. Think of it as your new home's training session. The builder's representative will walk through the home with you and explain how everything works. It's going to be someone who's had a hand in building the house or someone from the warranty department. There are some builders that will have their warranty rep conduct the orientation, but it definitely will not be the on-site agent. Though they may pop their head in to say hi, they will not conduct your blue tape meeting or your builder orientation. The builder's representative will essentially give you a live demonstration of the systems, features, and maintenance items in your home. This is the one chance you'll have to have your owner's manual come to life. While many buyers are focused on one thing, getting the keys, I completely understand, because by this point, you may have been waiting several months for the construction to be completed, been going back and forth with lender requests, and in the process of packing while still doing regular life. However, this is not the appointment where you rush through and simply admire the home. This is your opportunity to learn about one of the biggest purchases you'll ever make. Once you move in, you become responsible for maintaining that home. So the more you learn now, the better prepared you'll be later. One of the biggest pieces of advice I can give is to be present, but don't get overwhelmed. While this is an important meeting, there's no way you're going to remember everything. Trust me. A few months after closing, you're not going to remember everything the builder explained. I've had clients question things directly after the meeting. That's why it's helpful to take notes. But how do you listen and take notes effectively? Hopefully you have a partner with you during this process, or better yet, you have your agent. This way, you and your partner can listen, ask questions, engage, and your agent can take notes, which is what I do. I take notes in multiple formats, and then I send it to my clients as a keepsake so they can always refer back to them. I've had clients call me asking how to submit a warranty request or how to register their appliances because they forgot what they learned during the orientation. Having notes to refer them to from orientation day is incredibly helpful down the road. One thing we did not discuss is how long the meeting takes. Most builders will tell you to plan for 3 hours. Since this is a longer meeting, I also suggest you eat beforehand so you have energy throughout. I once had an orientation that took 5 hours and I was depleted by the end of it. My tank was on E. On the flip side, I have had orientations with a particular builder take 1 hour, but that's because that's part of their process. Their process is to have the home blue tape before we arrive. So then the focus on the meeting is spent on the other areas. You'll still have an opportunity to blue tape, but the vast majority is already done. One question I get frequently is whether a realtor should attend the builder orientation. My answer is absolutely. When I attend orientation with my buyers, I'm there to help them stay organized, take notes, ask questions, and identify concerns they may overlook. Buyers are often excited and focused on moving in, so having another set of eyes and ears can be extremely beneficial. It's also important to remember that the builder's representative works for the builder, whereas your realtor represents your interests. There's one builder in particular that I'm aware of that only allows the buyer to attend the orientation. Not even their agent can attend, but trust me, I have a workaround for that to make sure my clients are covered. Now, when it comes to others attending the orientation, each builder is different, so check with your agent. Some builders only allow the parties on the contract to attend. There are other builders who don't specify who can attend, but consider the importance of this meeting and whether you'll want kids running around distracting you or opinions from family members you invited taking your attention away. Now, during the orientation, each builder's representative has their own way of conducting the meeting, but you should expect to hear about the warranties and the process for submitting a request. They'll either give you or tell you how to locate the manuals for your home. They'll go over your inspection report report if you had an independent inspection done. And FYI, builders normally want your independent home inspection done before your orientation. This way they have time to address any items that come up and they can go over it with you at the orientation. If the item has not been addressed, they will share with you their plans to do so. Lastly, they'll explain systems in your home and you'll identify touch-ups that need to be made. This is more of the walk and talk portion of your meeting. And then they're also explaining the systems as you're going room by room. I will share that I've had orientations where the builder shared a lot, which is great, and some where they didn't. In those rare cases, either they're having an off day, they were new, or they just weren't a talker. I don't know. But in those cases, I ask questions and I draw out the information so that my buyer gets the full experience. I actually remember a time when a builder's representative opened the meeting with, "So what questions do you have?" That may sound interactive, but a buyer doesn't know what they don't know. More about the meeting. The builder will typically explain how your home's major systems operate. They'll show you how the HVAC system works, how to change filters, where the equipment is located, and how to properly maintain it. They'll walk you through the electrical panel, explain breakers, GFCI outlets, and safety features. They'll also show you important plumbing components, including the main water shutoff valve, water heater, and exterior water connections. In addition, they'll review appliance operation, warranty information, and garage door functions. This is your chance to ask questions and gain confidence in how everything works. Now for the blue tape. Like I said, while the builder explains these systems, you will also be walking and paying attention to your home's condition. This isn't about being overly picky. It's about identifying items that may need attention. Look for paint touch-ups, nail pops, scratches, flooring damage, loose hardware, missing caulk, doors that don't close properly, and windows that don't operate correctly, to name a few. If you notice something, mention it and make sure it gets documented. They'll have blue tape for paint touch-ups and green tape, or they'll make a marking on the corrections that need to be made to drywall. Again, each builder has their own way of doing it, so they'll let you know how to go about it. For the bigger fixes or where they need to call in trades, they're definitely going to document those. And here's a fun one. In case you're wondering, should I bring tape? This answer may be debatable, but generally no. Again, each builder does it differently, but all builder representatives should be providing the tape. Should be. I have had it to where a builder representative didn't have any tape and had to go get it, but the builder should be providing you tape. Now, when it comes to the actual application of the tape, it often goes two ways. One, they're going to ask you to point to the things that you see and they'll apply the tape, or they'll give you the tape roll or strips of tape. The latter is my preference. I feel like it's less restrictive, but again, each builder has their way of doing things. I also think it's important to set realistic expectations. A new construction home is still built by humans and no home is perfect. You may find minor cosmetic items that need attention, and you may have warranty requests after you move in. That doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong. The goal of orientation isn't perfection. The goal is to understand your home, learn how to maintain it, and ensure concerns are properly documented. Don't be afraid to ask questions during orientation. In fact, I encourage buyers to ask questions. However, if you have questions regarding the actual building process, workmanship, those types of questions, you need to ask those questions before you sign the contract. By the time you get to this appointment, you should be confident and sure in the builder that you've chosen. So the questions here should be geared to helping you understand your home better. So ask questions. I would much rather my clients ask questions while they're standing in the home with the builder than spending hours searching online later. Another source of confusion is the difference between a builder orientation and a final walkthrough. These are not the same thing. The builder orientation is primarily educational. It's where you're learning about the home and how to maintain it. The final walkthrough is more of a verification appointment where you confirm that repairs have been completed and the home is ready for closing. This meeting generally takes 20 to 30 minutes. At this final walkthrough, the goal is not to point out new items. Again, you're verifying that what you pointed out during the builder's orientation was addressed. Most builders will address anything that's glaring. Let's say the cleaning crew came in and scuffed a wall while they were vacuuming. They will go ahead and take care of that. But again, the goal is not to identify new items. Understanding the difference between these two items will help you know what to expect. Now you've made it towards the end. Let's recap. Before you leave orientation, make sure you understand the builder's warranty process, know how to submit warranty requests, what the timelines are, who your point of contact will be, and what items are covered. The information becomes extremely valuable after you've moved in and started living in the home. My biggest takeaway for buyers is this: don't treat builder orientations like a quick tour, treat it like a class. Prepare for it, and that's where I mentioned making sure you eat before you come. Let's go ahead and add being well rested to that, and also be fully engaged. So prepare for it and be fully engaged. Now, I spoke directly to you, the buyer, a lot, but this is definitely one of the times you'll be happy you have a buyer's agent, because they will provide so much value during this meeting. If you're thinking about buying new construction in Georgia, make sure you have someone representing your interest throughout the process. From contract to inspections, builder orientation, final walkthrough, and closing. I'd love the opportunity to help guide you through the process. Download my free new construction and relocation guides at www.newhomenat.com. And if you're ready to get started now, please call me at 252-594-3313. If I don't answer, please leave me a voicemail or send me a text message. I will get back to you as soon as possible. I do want to speak with you. And if you're not quite ready now, but you're planning for a future move, you can go ahead and schedule a call with me at calendly.com/sold by Nat. Now, if you want to tour new homes meeting your specific criteria, visit this website, ganewhome.com. And lastly, if you found this video helpful, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share it with anyone you know going through the new construction process or thinking about it. Until next time, I will see you in my next video. Have a positive, peaceful, and productive day.
It's supposed to have splits, cracks, weathered, old texture to it. So it's supposed to be rougher wood with maybe a split here, a knot there, stuff like that. That's absolutely normal in shiplap. It is the character of shiplap. Okay. So if we see anything in the wood itself, like a grain or something, that's okay. It's supposed to have that to give it character. You have the vent right here. So this is the flue. So that sends it up the chimney. To the right raises the smoke, to the left locks it. Okay? So just like the windows, left is locked, right raises the smoke. So if we're going to burn a fire, over to the right to raise the smoke. This one is what's called a fresh air intake vent. The long channel will be the light up over the edge right here. If you come over here on this side and look, there's a little black switch. When the switch is down, it means the fan's going to push the air down. Okay. If the switch is up, it's going to push the air up, go out to the sides of the room, and come down on the outside. So on the door jambs, remember I said this bottom piece is rubber. Okay. So they paint this, but then the paint comes off. So we don't repaint it because the paint will just continue to peel and everything off of that. Right here, this roller ball on the top that's getting pushed up by a spring inside this case. It rolls over and it holds the door in place. Now, this roller ball can screw down or it can screw up to tighten it or loosen it. So as you're living in the house and this door opens and shuts, that roller ball is going to cam and either loosen it up or tighten it up, because the heat's going to be trapped there because it can't come out from underneath the cover. So that will probably show up more by way of miter joints separating than other places. Okay. Now, caulking miter joints is not a difficult thing. You just get white caulking, squirt a glob on your fingertip, and you press it right wherever the line is and just wipe it off with a damp rag. On the door, the air conditioner dropped it down to 72. The plus and the minus here raise and lower the temperature up here. So if I want to drop it down to 70, I push the minus. So it just turns itself on. So now this is going to run and drop this entire downstairs down to 70 degrees. And through the middles and the ends, a lot of people ask, well, why don't you fill those with a filler and stain it? Well, the problem being is this. When you put filler in nail heads and then try to stain it, the filler will not stain. It turns yellow. You have yellow dots on your stair tray. So we prefer not to have yellow dots and just fill it with a stain and color it in. So that's a corner bead. Are you familiar with a corner bead?
I am. It's a piece of strip that runs right here.
It's a metal strip. It's an angle iron that runs right around the side of that, the corner. Okay. Bedrooms, again, will be a smoke detector only. All right, I'm going to show you both this as you step on in. The B, because we can't do anything with it, because that's the way it comes. Now, they can put paint on that, but they can't do any sanding on it because it'll fray the door apart from the fiberboard. Okay. Return vent, supply vent in the bedrooms. Again, smoke detector on these, and carbon smoke combos outside.
Right here, you can see it better than I can. Is that something that just wipes off?
I think that might be something. Let's put tape on that.
Okay.
Have them deal with that. Put it up there too. But out here to the ring. Okay? That switch goes click, 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 and it changes the tone of the light from yellow to daylight to bright white, super bright. All right? So I'm going to put the edge of this against the edge of that switch, and then I'm going to have you turn the light switch on.
Okay.
All right? Now, I'm going to start clicking it. All right? See how the tone changes? So, you can change the tone on these: hallway, living room, bedroom, laundry. If you want it nice and bright in the laundry, you just put it over here nice bright. So you got it. Or the closets, you can put them in there the way you want it. Okay, put it back in, snap it to the right, and it locks back in place. The secondary bathrooms and this laundry is vinyl.
Okay.
That is vinyl, it's not tile. So when you bring the washer and dryer in here, don't set it down and shimmy it, because you're going to rip the vinyl.
Okay.
All right, so make sure it sets back and gets where it needs to be. If you do need to do it, make sure you're kind of lifting it to move it without a shove and a push, because it'll just rip the vinyl.
Wow, this is really cool to me.
Washing machine is going to be on a GFI breaker. They go right in this little groove right here that attach this piece of wood to this piece of wood. So it staples right in here and attaches it to it. Now, the setting on that staple gun when they're doing these sometimes sets it, sometimes doesn't. So it's a different setting throughout the house. If they're real visible like that, I can work on it. If it's just a little dimple, we don't do a lot to it. But that one, obviously, you can fill that in. Ladybugs, actually included with the house price,
And
no charge.
Taj will like that. She likes to see the lady.
Very difficult to get to.
Okay.
Okay, when it's down like that, there's barely any room with my big mitt like that to get my hand back here to try to pull it up. So pushing this and pulling that at the same time helps get that started.
Okay.
Okay? So we're just going to come along this wall, in and out of the bathroom, and then circle back around this way. See right there? That's a staple.
Okay.
Just like that.
Okay.
And there'll be other ones around the door that you'll see, like that right there, that may not be showing up on that. We don't have the anti-skull because we don't have a bathroom. But inside handle sets is an anti-skull. Okay? So when this handle is spun over here to the hot side, okay, go up, they'll take the cover off of it, complain that we did not label the wires and where they went, stick a tone generator on and find it where it's supposed to be, and then they'll be able to connect cable and phone connections to all the cable and phone wires in the house. And then they can actually put the router in here, and that's why I provide an outlet inside this closet, because this is usually where the router goes, since all of that distribution cables are on here too. Do it
Right here. That dry. I think it's
dry.
dry.
Yeah, I think it's that dry over there. There's another one over here. Okay. But probably the cost of putting a door in there is ridiculous.
Right.
Because then you got to put a header and then the door and the casing and everything else, and these two doors will whack into each other. So,
that makes sense.
yeah, it's probably more trouble than it's worth. Footboard about right here. So that'll be about the same size as that here.
You're good.
What's going to happen is this room's going to take longer to make temperature, and the other rooms will be quicker, and it evens it out when the door's shut.
Okay.
What's going on? So a heat pump is a reversible air conditioner. In the summertime, it works as an air conditioner. It absorbs the heat out of the house into the refrigerant in the unit upstairs. That, therefore, takes it outside through the refrigerant tubes and the heat is released outside in the condensing unit outside. So if you ever put your hand over a condensing unit in the summer and the fan is blowing, it's hot air coming out of there. That is the heat that has been removed out of the house and released outside. So it runs through the refrigerant, and then the air blows across it and picks it up and releases it. So wintertime, a heat pump reverses the refrigerant flow, and it will absorb heat outside into the refrigerant. That refrigerant brings the heat inside and it's released, and that same hot air you felt blowing outside is now what's heating your house. So it's releasing the heat inside as air blows across it. It picks up the heat and blows around the house. Okay, so it's great for energy efficiency. Not so great when we get down into the teens, or the 20 degrees of the teens, because it really can't keep up very well. So at that point, it's time to put on a jacket, some slippers, and go around the house in jacket and slippers. If you put this on emergency heat, it is for really cold temperatures. And what's going to happen is you're going to turn off the compressor outside, and you're going to turn on electric heating strips in the attic space. Those electric heating strips work off of 240 volts of electricity, and it will go cha-ching, 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 trying to heat your house. Okay? So it is like for a short burst to try to get some heat back into the house when it's really, really cold outside. If anyone ever puts one of these thermostats on emergency heat, they need a sticky note right above the thermostat that says take off emergency heat. If you forget and leave this on emergency heat for a month, there'll be a $600 or $700 electric bill. That actually happened to a nice lady in one of our subdivisions. Okay, so now we'll head on down to the basement. You're in good shape.
Oh, right here.
So,
somebody did paint it.
Because this is one of the hardest things to do is drywall a stairwell.
Okay.
So this is already finished for them by way of this. It is not finished, it's just covered. When they go to finish it, then their guy will sand it down and smooth it and paint it on. Okay. Water completely right here. So this pipe is coming in the wall right here, and then the septic pipe or the sewer pipe is going out here. Now, this is important because mainly the only places a basement leaks is where the pipes go through the wall. Now, our company is called Morel's Waterproofing. It actually seals these pipes up through the wall. If there's ever a leak, it is 90% of the time coming through one of these holes in the wall that's there. That's probably a ground rod going through the metal as well. Those are called Boca plates or nail plates. So anywhere a thing goes through the roof or through the baseboard, you'll have a metal plate on top of that. That's why I pulled it down. Thank you, David. That's to shut off to the outdoor water spigot. So hose bib, that lever up there shuts off the water to the out front hose bib. So where you can put the garden hose. So that's great to know where that's at. He wrote it on a wall on the ceiling. It might benefit them to plug one in down low over by the back door as well, because carbon monoxide does settle. Now,
Smoking carbon.
they don't have anything producing carbon monoxide here. There's no gas to the house. The only thing is going to be burning a fire in the fireplace or a car running in the garage. So that being the case, if they're going to be doing anything down here like a kerosene heater or something like that, cold water is still going to all the toilets and the faucets. Only the hot water shuts off right here. So this valve right here releases if this tank gets to the point where it's about ready to pop. That water will go out this pipe, and just like I said, there's a water line going out over there by the air conditioner. There'll be a red pipe hanging out of the wall. We never want to see water coming out of that red pipe. If it is, that means this valve is released and we got water draining out of the tank. This one's going to run all the time trying to keep this tank up to 120 degrees. The bottom one's not going to turn on, and it's going to burn the element out because it's trying to do the entire work on one element. That's why there's two to distribute the heating over top and bottom of the tank and keep it all even. Okay. Last thing, you do have a drain on the bottom down here. This drain, you're gonna put a garden hose onto it. This valve is a slot for a screwdriver. So the screwdriver goes in like that. 1/4 turn to the left is gonna open this up, and it's gonna allow water to drain out of the house. So here's my capped off end. This goes in here, and it attaches to the sewer line, which curves, runs along the back wall, down and out the wall. This is a vent stack to go all the way out of the roof line of the house to vent out sewer gases. There's gonna be a pump down the side here with 2 pipes coming off of it. One's gonna be the pipe going up here. The other pipe is going into this one. So you'll have 2 pipes coming up out of that. All right, panel box. Anything down here, take pictures of what's gonna be hidden behind walls and have a complete picture of what's hidden behind the drywall when they cover it up. So, especially this, let's say you put a wall here and then you have drywall here and you're like, oh, maybe I should hang a picture right here. Well, if you put a nail right there, it's going to be a very shocking experience. That's 200 amps flowing through this to power your entire house. Start putting in the house and doing the basement. Do you know if their plan is to finish the basement?
Yes.
And then we'll head up and we'll go out on the upper deck and then we'll go around the outside. Whew. I'm gonna go ahead and have them sweep out the basement and pull down the spider webs. This right here and here are called moth eggs. And there's another one on the wall, window frame right there. So moths fly up, they'll lay their eggs on there, and it'll look like a patch of dirt, but it's an actual egg. So as they hatch, the eggs hatch, the moths fly off, and they leave this behind. So to get it so it's not left on there, take a broom handle, wrap a rag around the end of it, spray some 409 on it, and wipe it. As you wipe it, it's going to go squish and smear them all over the place, but that's what the 409 is for. Keep wiping it until it's cleaned off. If not, then it'll leave this and it'll actually start getting into the paint and you won't be able to get it cleaned off. Okay? This is just in the future, living in your own house or a homeowner asks about it. We actually sold a house to an entomologist who told us about that.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Okay.
and something sweeps through the door, up it goes. If the door comes down and lands on top of something, it has a 10-pound reverse. It's going to come down, land on my shoulder, and go back up. Up it goes. So, in case you have anything, you don't have everything connected, and the freezer doesn't get tripped if the garage door opener's running. Reset, off it comes, openers come back on just like that. Okay? So right now, the water days are set up for Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Okay? The landscapers are usually out here on a Monday or a Wednesday, so that's why we're not watering on the landscaper day. Okay? 140 degrees in the summertime, it actually glues the rubber to the paint and the door welds shut. So we don't paint behind there to allow the door to open and shut without it getting stuck. So you'll see that when it opens and shuts, but not when it's sitting here. So we'll touch up where it needs to be done, but not along the sides there because we don't want to get glued shut. That's sending the signal to the irrigation meter inside. Property line is usually about in the middle of the power pole, running back there into the woods somewhere.
You put tape on there just for the paint, right?
To fill that in.
Oh, to fill it in.
Yeah.
Okay. Do they need to do anything with this, or?
No, that's cable and phone and internet.
Okay.
So when they go to connect cable and phone, the tower out there, they'll bring a wire over here to the house, mount their controllers onto it, and then this goes into that controller box. Lattice work or something like that to kind of box it in if they want.
Okay.
So I am also the HOA president for the neighborhood.
Are you
So,
now?
yeah, so I will be approving fences and outbuildings and anything like that
Indefinitely, or?
until it's 100% sold.
Okay.
Okay, once it's 100% sold, it's turned over to the neighbors and then they take over everything. More over behind the house.
Okay.
That actually is a nice flat spot right there. It'll work out really good.
Right.
Okay, that is going to be a drainage area down through there because I can see the drop inlet right there. All right, we have made it through.